Check, check. Hmm. Oh shit. Live. It's working. What's up, guys? If you're tuning in, I haven't even published this anyway. Testing my YouTube live. So if it's working, let me know in comments. Only one person watching, which is probably me. All right, let's see. Can I get a share link? Copy. Here you are. I'm gonna tweet this. But no viewers. So sad. All right. I know how to put a tweet out there. Let's see. Hey, Vicky Pab. I got a comment. What's happening? Swapnil Joshi. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. If you're rocking up right now, I am. Wait. Why are we looking at this? No, wait. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. So confused. I haven't streamed for so long, guys. Okay, so right now you can only see my face. What's happening? I'm haven't streamed for so long. Finally got everything working. Good morning, Zenith, Xeon, Zeo, New Zealand. Yo, welcome back. Jake says good morning. Aryan says, what are your thoughts on .eth? Bam, with the NFT questions once again. Let's get straight into it, huh? Oh, Maddie is streaming again, says OST. Yeah, love from India, Zenith. Yeah, man, thank you. Love back to you from Australia. Yo, Maddie says, Lachlan Dykes, Darren Rogan. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, guys? God, it's been so long. I haven't streamed for honestly like 6 months. If you've seen my YouTube content, it's been 6 months of no streaming. So I finally got a bit of a setup going on. If you notice, hopefully you guys think this is a much better setup than last time. But Jin, what's up, man? Good to see you around. Good quality audio and video. Nice to see. Thanks for those kind words. Took me a month to set this up. Got me some hue lights. So I'm gonna show you guys my setup, right? I'm just hanging out today, guys. I'm just hanging out today, testing a few things. We've got a Mediky AMA happening in half an hour. I thought I'd just hang out a bit and make sure it's all working and talk to you guys for a little bit. Hey, Maddie, quality looks very good, says Liam. So good to see you, Maddie, says Nebula. Thanks, guys. Is it weird to say I missed his voice? I don't know. Let's get into it. Thoughts on physical backed NFTs. Jake's not wasting any time. Yes, Jin. Using OBS, man. Using the good old OBS. Never fails. Got a new camera, so got the Canon EOS RP, I believe. Got me a Elgato light. So if you guys can see the light there. So I'm going to change the light settings and you guys can tell the difference. All right. So this is the brightness. So I can make it all the way down, which isn't too bad. Down, like low brightness is pretty cool. I kind of like this vibe. It's low settings. But I can change the I don't even know what this is called. But I can change it to like white light to yellow light. still playing on what works. I'm sort of keeping it normal in the middle. I've got this whole hue thing. Yeah, I got the artifacts shoes in the background. So if you guys notice which shoes those are, it's the artifact Firo shoes. So the original ones that I've had back in the day, before Artifact was the Artifact we know today, and before Ferocious was as big as he is today. Yes, those are the Ferocious collab shoes. So I've got like, if you guys have followed my earlier investments, I have about 30 of these shoes. So I've got 2 in the back there, the legendary and the epic. Got the hue light set up. So the cool thing about the hue lights is you can just change the color, right? So check this out. I can change it to whatever color I want, which is pretty cool. That looks interesting. Green? Nah, when we go back to the red. Yeah, so I've just kept it at this. But yeah, it took a while. I'm not the best when it comes to tech, as you guys know. You know what's even cooler with the hue lights? You can actually set it up to Spotify. So when the Spotify beat hits, it actually changes the light. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah, Ferocious collab. Awesome. Well, I'm happy you guys like the setup. It took me ages. I actually had 3 to 4 really horizontal shelves for a while, and then there was just too much happening in the background, and I was like, you know what, Maddie, scrap it all. Just make it really simple. Put a desk and a couple of shoes. And I've just got the other stuff in the background, which you guys can't really tell what's there because it's blurry, so it doesn't really matter. The idea is, if I collect any more physical stuff, then I can just chuck it in the background, and it's a cool backdrop, right? So I collect digital and physical. I've got some art pieces and stuff like that. Awesome. OST. I don't know. Do you want that back, man? You want the Astro Friend giveaways back? I can do that. I've got 300 Astro Friends, as you guys know. I don't even know if I want to bring that back, but who knows? I can do that if you guys want. Yeah. So thinking, what time is it for you guys? Can you guys put it in the put the time in the comments? I want to know like what time zones work. So right now for me, it's 11:30 a.m. 11:30 a.m. and this is my midday. Ideally, I would love to chill and stream at this time, but the thing is that UK is like asleep. Spain and Europe is asleep. America is, half of them are asleep or tuning down. So for me to stream, generally speaking, I'd probably be best to do it at 7 a.m. in the morning, which is like 4 hours prior to this time. So what do you got? Imad says 9:40. Jake says 6:30 PST. That's pretty cool. Nebula 11:40, fellow Aussie, obviously. 9:40 for Vicky. Zenith says 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Where do you live, Zenith? What would 7 a.m. be right now? Is that in like the Indo-Asian countries, maybe? Malaysia, Thailand, one of those. So 2:40 a.m. in London, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out like what time zones I should stream in, to get the bulk of the crowd. Maybe I should do 2 streams. Maybe stream at a diff time for certain days of the week. Yeah, could do. I'm trying to figure out like what should be my continuous streaming program. So 7 a.m. in Indian time, right? Got it. Yeah, Indian time. Yep. Oz time zone for the win. Yeah, thinking Australian time zone or what. But anyway, planning on doing this back again. I know everyone's gone to Twitter Spaces and stuff, and that's the cool place to be. But I feel like the old school Twitter stream, the YouTube streams, if I interview someone from like IMX, or if I get Improbable here and we go through some of their content together, or maybe Jin wants to talk about Webiverse and we just talk about the stuff and we can visually see what's going on, and me and Jin can talk about what's happening with Webiverse, and whoever else, any other guests can talk about their stuff. I feel like there's still a massive win there. So I'm gonna maybe start a bit slow and then really start ramping up some interviews, because I think they were always fun to do. I enjoy talking to people about what they're building. We can dive into, sometimes they drop some alpha. We can get into that. So I think I'm gonna start getting into that. Yeah. World Time Buddy is a handy tool for planning. Thank you. I will note that down. So yeah, guys, stick around for another 20 minutes if you want. We can talk about some NFT stuff if you guys want. Super Dan for more Maddie stream says Jake. Anyway, we can reach out about nominating a guest. Yeah, man, just DM me on Twitter or just comment here. Actually, look, I'll be honest. My YouTube live is hit. That's right. My Twitter DMs are out of control. I wish I could be those people that keep up with my Twitter DMs and can and be organized enough to go through them every day and clear my inbox. But between emails and Twitter DMs and Discord, it's a mess. I can't. I've lost control on Twitter DMs, and I've accepted that, and Discord as well to a degree. So feel free to just comment here and I'll note it down. If you guys have any guests you want, hit them up, right? If you want them to be on here. Yeah, DM fatigue, right? For real. Like one of the most in the workplace, one of my most intimidating tasks is going through DMs and emails. I just hate it because every email or a DM is a request for your time, and sometimes it takes you a minute to respond. Sometimes they give you a link and you have to dive into it and learn what they're talking about and then get back to them in 20 minutes. You have 30 of those and suddenly you got 3 hours of DMs to go through. And I'm like, I can't justify the time to do that based on, running the Mediky personal investments and stuff. So anyway, long story short, just comment on me here. This is the best thing to do is I'm reading this now. If you have any guests, hit me up here. CCO and 0% royalties, my opinion. Okay, I'll note that down as a question. I'm just going to read some more of these questions. Hey, talk to Cryogenic about Neon Rain Marketplace. Happy to do so. What are your shoes behind you? You know what? I'm going to bring them. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what these shoes are. This is the exact reason. I was actually waiting for someone to comment that, all right? That's the thing. That's the real secret here. I'll show you what these shoes are. So if you guys haven't seen these, you can see them clearly. They are, working on the focus. So these are the original Ferocious shoes that he made about a year and a half ago. So this was one of the first physical drops that Ferocious did in the NFT space. You bought an NFT, which was the artifact / Fero shoe NFT, which came with a physical forging, right? So these have their NFT counterpart, and that NFT allowed me to mint 3 Clone X's. So it was an interesting just a value experiment because I paid about 3K to 5K for each pair and got about 25 of them because I was just like, all right, YOLO, I love Ferocious and Artifact, let's see what happens. And then Artifact went on to make Clone X's, which gave the NFTs utility, and then Ferocious ended up giving physicals, which are pretty epic. Like I'm holding these on, and I feel like the collector world, that the items that have been released from artists or brands, whether they be NFTs or physicals, that go out there before major collaborations and a pivoting of that brand happens. For example, Artifact went on to say they're working with Clone X, and there's like tens of thousands of NFTs they put out there now, and tens of thousands of merchandise that will be out there now. But back then, I think there's only like 800 of these pairs, right? And this event happened before Clone X was released and Nike was released. So for me, like the stuff prior to artists blowing up is like the holy grail of collecting. So big I'm a big fan of these shoes. I've got about 25 pairs and they're just sitting with me somewhere in my warehouse. I've got the NFTs and it was interesting because at that time I was like, all right, cool shoes. I like Ferocious. Obviously it was very spend happy because it was, the bull run, so everyone was throwing money around. Didn't expect Artifact to go out and do the Clone X thing. So that was just came out of the blue. I remember the NFTs themselves, they went down to a floor of 0.5 Ethereum. And then the Clone X announcement happened, and then suddenly they were sitting at 8 Ethereum, and I think they reached like 12 Ethereum. So to me, it's interesting how the biggest gains in the NFT space have been from projects where you don't expect them to become something big. They start off small, and then suddenly the momentum hits, and then they're just doing something right, and it becomes a massive part of the industry. Bored Ape Yacht Club is probably the only project I know to have just gone nuts from the get-go and not stopped in terms of a pullback. And yeah, okay, there's a bit of a pullback over the last 2 months, but man, coming down from 120 ETH to 80 ETH, I mean, they still reached 100 ETH within a year, which is nuts. The Bored Apes and a couple of others, I think, are a bit of an outlier, but most of them, you know, they start small and they blow up eventually. So I'm gonna put this back. Yeah, I might make it a thing actually to go through some of my physical collections every stream. You know, that might be a thing. All right. Let's go through some of your questions, guys. About 15 minutes till the AMA starts for Mediky. I'll be going through just what we're working with the Mediky. If you guys don't know, I'm the founder of the Mediky, which is a company that's building our own little corner of the metaverse and bringing brands into the space and building utility for Medikys and stuff like that. I'll be doing an AMA, but hang around for that if you want. But for 15 minutes, I'm free to just talk whatever you guys want me to talk. Litecoin Leo says, "What's up, everyone?" What's up, Litecoin Leo? Don, I missed you too, man. I missed you too. All right. Can we talk about New Ganymede? Absolutely, we will be Nebula trading in 15 minutes. I'm gonna get into that. Jay Marino, what's happening? I know the guy, he says. Jay Marino, good to see you. 4th edition key artist. Blown away even till today when I look at that art piece. Next big trend after NFTs would be. All right, that's an interesting question. NFTs, if you look at that as a category, I think it's a major category. I think there's going to be a perfect storm coming up. There's going to be a maturity in the NFT space. There's going to be maturity in the VR space. There's going to be maturity in the AI, AR, etc. space. And they're all working towards finding solutions within that niche. But I feel like it's just inevitable for there to be a perfect storm and collision of all of these ideas to make epic experiences and solutions in ways that we've never thought of before. And I'll show you one thing that I came across a while back, right? Now, let me try a transition over here. 1 second. Bam. All right. In stream mode, classic stream mode. So Nreal, right? I was just looking at a few things. Let me put this guy over here. Yeah, I was looking at a few things, and I'm not sure which one of you guys play around with AR glasses. Okay, so but like, check this out, right? Volume, although there's no I like how they're light. They still connect. Oh, no, you got to connect your phone to them. But one thing about these glasses is you can overlay video content on them. So look at this. So I can move this over all the way to where you can put screens and make the apps inside his mind. I mean, the blurry bit behind this is what he's actually seeing, but you can overlay content on that. And I think it's more practical because in VR, I mean, VR is a different beast, but in VR, it's either you're in VR or you're in the real world. There's sort of no in between as far as I know. But with AR, it seems like you can overlay screens. So when I'm cooking or something, I can have a screen on my glasses where I'm still watching a video, or I can sort of take that wherever I want if I'm doing a run. And who knows how this is going to play out. But it's interesting just to see how AR is as smart glasses are increasing. So I think, like, you know, I feel like if you ask me what's the next big boom after NFTs, I think it's going to be one of these technologies that have been around for a while, just like NFTs had been around for a while, but they're just going to see major adoption because the usage of what you can actually do with it is just going to be immense, right? I have lost your comments. 1 second, guys. Okay, comments happening here. Let me put it around here so that I don't lose it. Oh, wait. Such a noob. I've become a streaming noob again. This goes here. All right. Cool. Let's see. Can I read your comments again? Yes, I can. Vitalik Nakamoto. The name. Have I gotten a chance to get into Vivi? Is it Vivi or is it Vive? Let's just say I think it's Vivi, right? Say Vivi. I have not gotten a chance to get into Vivi yet. No, there was just so much stuff going on in the bull run that I just didn't have time to get on some stuff. I missed so many. I honestly missed so many opportunities. It was insane. But I have been in touch with the Vivi team. So I actually had a call with not the Vivi team, but like just Ecomi in general, just to see what they're up to. I've been reaching out to, you know, Wax and Ecomi, and I've been actually trying to see what everyone's up to. And it's been cool because you know, networking has always been a big thing of mine, and I've always you benefit a lot from always just keeping tabs with everyone. And you know, if they have a partnership there that they can work into the Mediky, that will work. If we have something that makes sense to port over there, that might work. But my personal thing is always to keep in touch with some of these projects and just keep touching base every now and then to figure out what's going on. Discontinue dev. You're not missing anything from Vivi. The one holy grail of Vivi, I think, is that #1 comic. That is it 1930s comic NFT? I think that's a super cool collectible in general. As a category of comic books. Like if there's any comic book NFT I'd want to collect, it'd be that one. I haven't got it yet. I think it's like $30,000 at the moment. So how do I feel about the current bear market? I feel like it's normal. I mean, been around for 4 to 5 years. I remember when you know, the biggest projects were CryptoKitties and CryptoVoxels and Decentraland, and they were doing like 200 ETH volume a week. There was nothing. That was I think at their peak they were doing like 500 ETH volume. But for a long time they were getting like 30 ETH volume a week and nothing was going on. And this happened a couple of times, I think, like a setback for the industry just to recalibrate. And from I sort of use myself to validate the space or validate certain niches. Like if I truly enjoy collecting art, I can see others truly enjoy doing the same. So I feel that niche is going to be big. If I truly enjoy, you know, building games with NFTs within them or playing those games, then I think someone can go on and make it even better. So I use myself as a bit of an indicator as to if I enjoy it, if I'm hooked on it, then surely others will too. And if you look at that across the NFT space, there's very little experiences that well, there's not many games out there that use NFTs, but in terms of what people enjoy, people love being plugged in, people love collecting art, the collectorship is there. Gaming definitely is a thing, so collecting within games will definitely be a thing. Music NFTs, photography NFTs, there's some smaller, more niche things which I haven't delved into, but hey, as long as there's a collector and creator base there, the thing will keep evolving. I think we're all sort of thinking it's just going to go nuts again, and I don't think, if you look at what happened last time, it went nuts because crypto just spiked, right? Ethereum went from like a couple $100 back to $1,000. And at the same time, of course, there was a lot of collector momentum and these projects were maturing. There's also this DeFi summer that hit us, and then everyone was just making bank, just making money from DeFi, and then suddenly people had to download MetaMasks to stake. And then everyone just realized that, hey, with these MetaMasks, I can also buy NFTs. So they were getting money from DeFi. The crypto was going up. They were using that to buy, spray across the NFT space. That brought even more momentum. So it is interesting to see what the catalyst will be. Absolutely, if the crypto industry goes nuts again, we're going to see the same thing. I've got no doubt in my mind. If it doesn't go nuts, then I think it's more of a slower play in seeing the industry experience, like people build out games and stuff. Jin asks, did you see DBZ in Fortnite? Dude, I actually had it pulled up just before I started streaming. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Check this out.
Really low, really low.
What? What are you doing? You got something we want. Boom.
That is
Out.
epic.
Dude, I got a cloud. You ready? Watch this.
Okay,
Watch
I'm
me.
ready.
Can you guys hear this?
Dude, what?
Yeah, I
Where
think
did
you
you
can.
go? Oh, why?
This guy thinks he's safe, and he doesn't.
That is
even
so
know.
cool. It's sort of like the vision of what
Now,
NFTs
got a kill.
want to be, right? Being able to
What about
take your
Sparrow?
avatars
Uh-oh.
for this exact reason.
Okay.
I mean, in this case, you're connected to a brand. Got a Kamehameha.
What have I just done? What?
That is so cool.
Okay, well, I don't know how I've completely missed that. I'm not gonna lie. But that's fine. Okay, we're chilling.
Yeah. I reckon,
Okay.
honestly, Dragon Ball Z, man. Come on. One of the strongest brands of my generation, at least. You bring Dragon Ball Z anywhere, I think there's going to be a category of that market that's just going to go nuts. But yeah, I saw it. It was super cool. Goku with a gun is a bit weird. I've never seen that before. I have to admit, that was odd to see that. Goku with a pole? Yeah.
He's thirsty me, he's thirsty me.
But come on, Kamehameha. Alright, you got to have that.
Oh. Okay, well, at least we know where they spawn now. All right.
It's interesting to see this because like this whole niche gaming industry exists with all the fun and joy in the world, with every reason for the brand to plug into like DBZ without the usage of NFTs. So it's sort of like, it had me thinking, well, is there a future where NFTs aren't a thing? I don't know. It's interesting to look at it from that way. Is it a future where gaming continues with no NFTs within them? Could be, potentially. So to me, it's interesting because some of these projects already out there, I mean, they're already moving 100 miles an hour with what they're already building without NFTs. So curious to know. I think back in the day before 2019, I remember thinking that the major games in the space that will onboard more NFT users will be made from Web 2 brands like the Ubisofts, the Square Enixes, whoever they are. They will be building games. The RuneScapes, the Fortnites, they will be using NFTs to just plug in and make work within their games. But because there was so much backlash, I realized maybe these games have to be built from within. So sort of like what Axie Infinity did. Yes, they did blow up for a different reason in terms of the like people earning money and stuff. But I think I think there is sort of like, you know, will these games be built within like NFT natives, or will they be built will someone else, just like Ubisoft finally hit it and smash the and onboard these users. What other questions do you guys have? I have to start the AMA soon for Mediky, so you guys can hang around for that if you want, but we'll probably start to get a lot of Mediky questions. Very quick primer on the Mediky if you are going to hang around. The premise was to build multiple uses for people that own the Mediky. First year we spent pretty much building our team. There's about 25 people working for the Mediky, trying to figure out where exactly what we actually want to build. Recently, about 3 months ago, we decided to build our own sort of game slash hub engine on Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is a pretty cool development engine. I think it's only like the apps that allow you to connect to Web3 ecosystems are only now starting to be more mainstream. So there's still a lot of development to do within Unreal to allow us to bridge out to NFTs, unless we do stuff that's custom. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing. So if you guys saw this video,
I'm ready, boys.
These guys are all enemies. Go get them, man.
also doing some testing about like bringing in your avatar. So these are your Metacrew PFPs, and bring them in. Beat up monsters in a 5vs5. That's just some of the quests. You can go out and maybe do some racing stuff. All sorts of things. And then we thought, all right, well, why don't we bring in other avatars? These are all quite manual, so it's been a lot of work from our end. I mean, there's still a lot of bridging that needs to be done so people can build these in, bring these in automatically. But just playing with what it might look like, doing this all in a quite a manual process for now. But you can bring in Cypher, Clonex, Bongs, a couple of others, and I think it's going to probably take us 1.5 years to actually get this out so people can actually play it. So a lot of building yet to be done. But one of the many things we're building at the Mediky is this thing. All right, guys, I better start this AMA or else it's not going to be good. So let me just answer some more of your questions at the end. How goes the avatar? Says Jin. Building away, my friend. Building away. Any chance of getting job in a bear market? Says Zenith. Yeah, always a chance. Always a chance. Other side moving in that direction too. Yes. So the AMA is in Discord. Yes, Darren. The AMA is they're asking questions in Discord, and the Mediky Discord is where people hang out. And probably will ask the questions, but I said I will answer them on YouTube. So let me just double check. All right, I'm gonna quickly switch to Discord and see what's cracking in the Mediky Discord. Give me a second. All right, let me pop up the Discord. Bam. I gotta join. Oh, go in here. Gotta join here.
He's looking at the wrong Discord.
Oh, there he is. He's in the audience.
All right, I can hear you guys.
Oh, yeah. I just invited him to speak.
Yo, yo.
Cool.
Hey, mate.
Hey, guys. All right.
How are we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Haven't been on audio for a while, so getting back into it. Good to see everyone joining in. This is a bit trippy because I'm on YouTube at the same time, and now I'm on Discord too. So hopefully there's no audio crossovers that's tripping people out.
No, there won't be. You're not capturing the audio feedback, so you're absolutely fine.
Good.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do, Matty. I just got evacuated out of my building.
Oh shit.
Just wonderful timing. Yeah, the fire truck's just pulled up. So Mossy's got a document. You guys have all submitted questions over the last couple of days, which we really appreciate. Thank you very much for that. And we've grabbed a bunch of them to go through. If you have more questions as we're going, you can scroll all the way down the Discord here under help and questions. Ask your questions. If you have more as we're going, we may or may not be able to get to them, but if we don't in this session, then we will pick them up and answer those for you afterwards. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. So without further ado, Mossy, I will let you read those out.
I might read the doc myself. Do you have the document?
Yeah.
I can bring it up myself, maybe on.
Yeah, by all means. Yeah.
I'll send it.
All right. What's happening, everyone? If you've noticed, I've been getting back into the social Maddie. I feel like last year's been a blur just building the Mediky, and as much as I'd want to be social media heavy, just had to like jump on almost 10 meetings daily consistently. But yeah, trying to find a category where I can be like, all right, well, this is social media time, and you need to start getting your YouTube and Twitter going on again. If you notice, I don't know if you're on TikTok, you probably noticed me put out a couple of videos. They're probably the shittest videos you've ever seen, but they're coming out. So we are going to build that momentum back. Let's see what happens. I'm going to open up some tabs over here. So don't mind me for a few seconds. I always like seeing that frog. That was it printer dude that made that?
No, Paper D.
Paper D, that's it. That's it. I'm a big fan of the frog. So Michael, you're not going to be around, or you're going to be around? Oh, he's not around. We'll just YOLO this. All right. Well, I'll bring out some of these questions out here. What should I put in the background? That's the question. Or should I just be in the background? Maybe I'll just.
You just be the background.
There we go. All right. Well, we can get started. First of all, guys, an update on the Mediky. So it's been a pretty wild year for us. Working 100 miles an hour, doing a bunch of different things. I I think the wins have been sort of like the brand collabs, doing a bunch of integrations, finding a few winners among the multiple collabs that we did. It's the wins have absolutely been hiring the right team. I'm very confident with the team that we have, and you can probably see by new Ganymede and a bunch of different stuff that we're building, that we're doing things. You know, we're starting to move in building products for the Mediky community. What we realized halfway through, so I think after the 6 to 8 month mark, we were like, you know what, like integrating our Mediky into other projects is good because it allows us to integrate into projects with teams that are building their projects. So this building stuff, we don't have to do it, but it's limiting because we have to depend on them building the architecture that we want. So whether that be like an app or a service, or even something like Decentraland, like if we were to do an NFT that goes to Decentraland and allows you to teleport different places, or even the sandbox, right? Like we had so many plans for the sandbox. You guys know that we had like 500 plus lands, but it's not even open yet, so we can't even do anything, right? There's like at least 100 projects that are building there, but you can't do anything with any of them because none of it's public yet. So we were like, all right, well, why don't we build our own project? So this is where New Ganymede stemmed from. It's where we've got a metaverse studio that onboards some brands to the space and builds them out wherever they want to go. We have a Medacademy course content, which I don't know if I can show you a sneak peek today. I'm going to run that by Michael to see if we can show you that. But we're building our own products that are going to be pretty big in time. Takes a long time to build them out. So that's where we're at the moment. Ample collabs, massive names, which previously I've kept hidden because I've thought, okay, maybe it's best we roll them out, then announce. What we're going to do differently this time, and I'm talking to them, is like, why don't we announce as soon as we sign a contract, and then work towards the final activation. So there's going to be a lot more announcements. Probably in the next 3 months, you'll start to see things change in terms of the processes on how Mediky works. All right, we want to answer some questions. All right, I'm going to answer some questions. You guys are seeing my face. Where is the stream questions? Give me a couple of minutes. I'm just going to pull up this here. I'm just going to answer some YouTube questions. Yes, AMA is in Discord. Good seeing you, Mediky, for NFT daily streams. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Been long. Anyone tuning in now? The focus is going. Anyone tuning in now, we're doing a bit of a new Ganymede, no, not new Ganymede, a Mediky AMA, so stick around for it. Did like a 20-minute stream about the NFT space in general. We'll be doing that on a daily, almost a daily schedule once I'm back in terms of momentum. All right. So I'm going to start with some of these questions, guys. I'm going to wait till Michael comes back. Michael, are you around or? Nah. No, Michael. All right, I'm gonna solo this. So BTC Alchemist says general NFT sentiment seems quite low with project. One second, actually, I'm gonna pull up the chat. Is there a chat for this so I can see what you guys may be commenting? Maybe the general.
Yeah, we just use the general if you guys wanna.
All right, so I'll also keep tabs on general. I'm gonna pull up the general chat.
Oh, now maybe ask the questions tab, Maddie.
There are so many channels in our Discord right now.
I'll tag you here.
Yeah. Got the mods deck. Did you tag me, Moz? Can't find it.
Wait up. I don't know why I can't tag you.
Is there a... Where's the Ask Questions channel? What category is under? Is it under...
It's under help and questions. I don't know why I can't tag you. Are you even on our Discord?
No, I am. Of course I am. I can type. We got the private deck. It's not in the private deck, right?
No. Next, underneath Mediky DAO, there's a help and questions. and there is a channel called Ask Your Questions.
I'm not even in that. Maybe I'm not in that channel.
Maybe we.
Why wouldn't? So there's a Mediky under the Mediky DAO category. There should be a help and questions channel.
No, like next, underneath that, there's a help and questions channel.
Oh yeah, and then there's tickets and stuff, right?
Yeah, but like just the first one that says
here we go. Ask your questions. Oh my god, ask your questions.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Okay. Oh my god.
So use this if you want to ask more questions, but Maddie has a list of questions that we can go through.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be watching this chat. I'm gonna be watching the YouTube chat, but focusing it on Discord, and then I'm also gonna be answering some of your AMA questions. All right. So let's just hang out for a little bit, just chat, talk about a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, all right. So I got your chat over here, guys. Cool.
Michael's back. Is Michael back?
Yeah, I just ran upstairs. I'm back.
Hey, Michael. Michael,
oh, goodness.
Then.
All right, would you like me to ask the questions, Maddie, and you can answer them?
Yeah, you can ask them, and I'll answer. I think that'll work good.
All right, excellent. Okay, so BTC Alchemists asks, general NFT sentiment seems quite low with project prices dropping across the board. There were debates around CC0 and royalties, but it seems like something else is going on. What is your take on why the NFT market seems so weak? And what do you think is needed to bring us out of the slump?
Interesting question. BTC Alchemist. Quite broad, quite macro. So CCO, CC0, royalties, these are all temporary debates that come up. They get ironed out. People move on. If I could bring up all the debates that happened in 2018, 19, I remember people would be like, oh, well, why isn't Decentraland and Crypto Voxels? Why are they not talking to each other? Why are NFTs not being used over there? A lot of debate around DAOs and how they work and the structure of hierarchy there. There's been, these debates will keep happening as the space evolves. I don't think the CC0 and royalties have anything to do with the bear market stuff that we're seeing. I think the bear market sentiment predominantly has been because of the crypto industry. Big bad Bitcoin doing its thing where every time it moves an inch, everything else sort of follows. Bitcoin moves down 10%. That's like everything else just gets wrecked. What I've noticed in the NFT industry is the immediate Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto moves, whether they be up or down, the NFT industry takes a bit of a hit. There's like people that get freaked out and sell. Gold prices come down a little bit. The moment we start to stabilize a little bit, and then 2 to 3 months pass and people aren't watching the crypto industry as much, NFTs start their momentum again because people start to pay attention where innovation is happening, right? Happened ample times. I'm not sure if anyone else is here that can that what you guys think, if you guys have been around the last 4 or 5 years in NFTs and crypto, and that's what you guys have seen. That's what I've seen. I think there was also a massive speculative hype / interest to see what NFTs are, and there was this cool new technology. Where can we use it? Where is it going? And a lot of money and people were involved in trying to figure out what's going on. And I think the utility just didn't keep up with the hype. I think like using avatars within games was a great concept. Games using NFTs to switch on an NFT marketplace within established games, great concept, didn't happen. So I think like the timeline of what, like there was a speculative interest where people were throwing money, wanting to see certain things happen. It didn't happen in that 1 or 2 years. People just came to, there's always a speculative section of people that kind of go in too much and pump the market collectively, but it always pulls back because innovation takes time. It takes time to build, Decentraland, for an example, took like 4 years, 3 to 4 years for them to actually be public. I think 3 years actually, for there to be actually a place you can walk in, open to the public. And even then it was in its infancy. Crypto Voxels didn't take that much time at all, but I don't think you could bring NFTs in and give them functionality. I'm not sure if they had a robust SDK as much, but hey, they took a different route. So I think for me, what I realized is time to build out these roadmaps that these projects were promising takes much longer than what people think. And no matter how much money you throw at it, it doesn't mean it's going to happen faster. It's still going to be a multi-year long process. So I have faith in the process of everyone within the industry creating cool stuff. And even if 2 or 3 of those are catalysts to bring them, that even if 2 or 3 of them become catalysts, that is enough to bring back a massive new wave of interest, as we saw from NBA Top Shot or the art industry, and crypto doing its thing. So 1, are the crypto moons and everyone comes back. 2, innovation outpaces speculation and everyone comes back. So.
Okay, good question, well answered. Let's go into some more Mediky specific stuff. Zap asks, what's your take on the reducing floor prices of Mediky Edition 4? And is there any way to know all future collab?
Reducing floor prices. So for the first year, I think like we just kept doing collaborations and stuff. Some of them moved the floor prices, some of them didn't. We're talking internally, and there has to be a focus. So my mindset has been not to do too much marketing in the early days, because I honestly didn't want to be too speculative. There's some projects that you guys may know of, but there's been a lot of pumping at the start and then a massive dip in prices. Some of them have come down from 4 ETH back down to 0.2, 0.1. And that loss of money from early investors isn't something that I don't feel good about that. So I sort of waited till we have enough build momentum and get that marketing back. So pretty much now very confident in what we've got going on. Happy to scream and shout from Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, really start talking about Mediky and what we're doing. And looking at economics, and I think this part is important, because looking at economic incentives that affect the floor price. And previously I've avoided touching or talking about the floor price, but I think as a project, it is important to think about floor price. Floor price, NFTs, your user base do hold NFTs that have economic value. The stronger that floor price, the stronger the health of the community, the sentiment of the community. So I can't tell you guys exactly what, but we've been experimenting with what things might affect floor prices directly, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe at a later time I can run some ideas by you guys, but very confident. I hope this doesn't put too much FOMO on the floor price and you guys start buying up a bunch of Medikys, but very confident in that floor price, whether it be a bear market or bull, starting to have some uptick of momentum based on some implementations that we might be doing for the Mediky company in terms of, that's all I'm going to say. But yes, we are looking, and I think we're going to do like a weekly hour meeting just to look at floor prices and figure out specifically what can we implement within the company that affects these. And some other projects actually do this themselves. And I think there's some gray areas where projects buy them themselves or sort of get you to stake. And we can look at some of the staking mechanisms, but a lot of projects hold on to the supply or reacquire that supply, so that there's 10,000 NFTs out there, but 3,000 of them are held in one wallet because the main company holds that as a treasury. But in the same way, they effectively reduce the outgoing supply out there. But we have some things in mind, so I think we'll talk more internally, but might be a time where we can run some of these by you guys in terms of these economic incentives. Yeah. Oh, one thing is that we've stopped releasing editions of keys. So I know the premise of Mediky was to continue to release Medikys, but for now we're like not even thinking about releasing any more Medikys until that floor price is bloody healthy. And even when it is healthy, if we ever do release Medikys, it'll be in a way like how we've released the other ones, where the release of them haven't affected the price of the others that much. We added collectability, utility enough so that they maintain their sort of status and value. So Mediky next editions are not even talking about until Mediky visually, utility wise and everything wise is in a completely different place.
Okay. Okay, speaking of another edition, will Mediky Edition 2 holders receive future pods airdrops from Artifact? Are any Artifact airdrops under discussion? And that question comes from Aladdin.
Yeah. We've aligned incentives for Artifact with us. We share a 50-50 cut on royalties. It was our product, their artistry happened before Artifact became very CloneX driven and sold their own NFTs to their own ecosystem. So they'll always focus on the CloneX ecosystem. That's how they work. That's what serves their community. The ball is always in their court. Nothing is happening at the moment. They're busy doing their own roadmap, and this is what happens when a new project forms. Companies are busy building their own roadmap, and you have to respect that. It takes a year or 2 years, and then once they build out, then they're open for collaborations much more openly. So you got to let that roadmap go out there, and then I'm sure there'll be ways to plug in again, especially when you start to make games and experiences. There'll be ways to plug in and bring different things. They did say that the discs that people got for the Medikys will have a utility. They absolutely did say that, whether it be in a game or something else. But I'm sure, like with Artifact specifically, what I have seen them do is find a way to use everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do the Artifact and Mediky thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is fair to say of Artifact, isn't it? They use every part of the buffalo every time.
Yep.
Okay. A question here from Jabba. This is a bit of a long one, so I'm going to paraphrase a little bit if you don't mind. Basically, can we get whitelist opportunities? For example, I paid around 6 ETH to become a keymaster. That could have easily been paid off with some decent whitelist spots over the past 6 months. Good question. I want to give some context to this one a little bit. We have done a lot of whitelists, a lot of allow lists, a lot of pre-mint opportunities and stuff like that over the last 6 months. To name a few, we've got Metadrag, Dark Taverns, Elvis on Chain, Prism, Habbo, Genies, Drip.io, NFT Nerds, Crypto Walkers, pre-mint, Collector's Pass, Name Tag. This is something that we do quite regularly, and it's something that, of course, we will absolutely continue to do. We get so many requests coming in our integrations and partnerships form for projects that want us to kind of offer whitelists or giveaways or whatever. And we are very conscious of the fact that when we take one of those and bring it to you as a community and say, hey, we've got a whitelist opportunity for this, even when we say this is not an endorsement, it's not financial advice, do your own research, it does still take on the color of an endorsement. And we're always very, very careful to curate those for you. Some of them go up, some of them go down. We're more concerned about the utility that it can provide to you all. I think, Matty, you could probably elaborate on this a little bit.
I missed the last sentence.
Talking about whitelists and
whitelists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whitelists have always been an interesting thing to us. Do we just say yes for everything? Or do we curate who and why? I mean, whitelists, NFT projects only blow up post-mint, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, if they get a lot of momentum pre-mint, usually they don't even care about a whitelist. They're like, oh, we're going to sell that anyway. If they want any help, it's usually because they don't have enough buzz. And how do we tell which ones are going to be big and which ones are not going to be big? Do we just say yes to all and just hope that you guys can sort of make that conviction whether you want to invest or not? Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that where we just say yes to everything, every whitelist. And then, or we even hunt out for some whitelist opportunities, and maybe we have a division that just goes and looks for whitelists, and then leave it to your discretion as the Mediky community to decide whether that's good or bad for you. So maybe I've always thought Mediky is somewhat responsible for going to whitelists. Maybe some of these projects become a rug pull, and the worst thing I'd want is Mediky to be associated with a rug pull project. But sometimes I think that's inevitable if we're going to be saying yes to every NFT project. So I think there's some balancing there. But look, if you guys want us to say yes to every whitelist, if you guys want us to hunt out there for every whitelist opportunity and just literally have a whitelist feed, can do it. I think can really look at that being a thing. Just have to ask the resource team to see if we have enough people to do that. But maybe we can try that. Maybe we can try getting in way more whitelists and see how that goes. Just know and keep in mind that we don't vet them. If if we're going to say yes to everything, there'll be very little vetting process. So it's up to you guys. If we make an announcement and it's like Board Bunnies 2000, it's up to you guys to figure out whether that's a good project or not. It might be, it might not be. So, yeah.
Okay. Leo Point asks, how are you preparing for the merge? Are you accumulating ETH so you can dump ETH POW after the merge? Almost every blue chip is slowly bleeding, maybe because people want to accumulate ETH to have more ETH proof of work. Any thoughts on that, Maddie?
Nothing in terms of what we're doing actively with the merge. I think that's more of an ecosystem observation as to what that will affect, how that will affect what we can do in terms of building out experiences on the Mediky. In terms of investing, not really changing my investment stuff. Like I'm very long on Ethereum. I think the merge will help the economic part of Ethereum. But yeah, I haven't sold anything. I haven't bought anything based on the merge news alone. I have sold and bought based on what I think the sentiment of certain industries are, like the crypto industry. Like for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think I personally buy more of the coin than it is the NFTs, because the coins I find just has more of a positive or negative market movement. It has a larger fluctuation and it has more liquidity. But I haven't done specific things with the merge news.
Okay. All right. So PW observed a couple of days ago that you were tweeting about picking up some more talent, possibly outside of Australia, and asks, does this mean we got more VC money for Mediky?
We are actually pretty well funded with the Mediky. We can go on for 2, maybe even 3 years. We can go on for about 4 years with the team size we have now. If we double the team size, we're still good for 2 to 3 years. If we don't earn a single dollar more in that 2 to 3 years. So we're pretty well off in terms of needing funding. This doesn't mean we got a new VC where we've got new VC funding. I'm looking at what maybe a Series A look like. So if you're new to the VC world, basically you do a seed round, which is sort of more on an investment on the idea. That's what we closed last time. A Series A is once you have progress in your project, then you open up another round, you sell more equity, you get more money. So that is a thing I'm sort of got on the radar, but I want Mediky to become a pretty cool company before I put it out there. I want to do more. I want to get the games at a level where multiple avatar purchases are coming in. I want to get the game to a level where we can get 30 to 50 of you guys to come in, check it out, and have those videos circulating everywhere, partnership announcements that we all have in the works. And then a Series A sort of makes sense. But no, we're just hiring because we definitely have excess money to hire anyway. Like we have enough money to triple the team and go solid for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Jumpin' Spider asks, are there any non-Ethereum projects that Mediky will get involved with?
Say that part again. Is there any
non-Ethereum projects that Mediky will get involved with?
Yes. I don't know if we can say the project based on what Jeremy's working on or not, but yeah, look, totally open. We don't care whether it's Ethereum or Tezos or Solana or anything, as long as the project is good and the chain is secure in some way. I mean, I haven't looked into Solana as much. I've heard it going down and up a few times. That's, our dev can let us know whether or not that's a good thing to do, but we are open. Like if they built a great game, I honestly think there'll be a time, and this is part of the evolution of the industry, where the blockchains will not matter. It won't matter whether it's Solana in terms of the experience level, right? It's not going to matter. You'll still be trading NFTs. There'll be bridges that will combine the two blockchains where you can speak, communicate, mint, trade in between the two. But on the front end, you're just going to see, like a game trade pop-up UI that you see on RuneScape, and one item will be on Solana, one item will be on IMX maybe, and you'll be able to trade it not really caring what the back end looks like. Might take 5 years, but I think that's where we're going to get to. So no issues with us going to any other blockchains. If you guys think there's some games and apps and experiences on other blockchains that I should look into or we should look into, feel free to let us know.
Okay. All right. Anafi asks, what upcoming utility is being planned that individuals would want to specifically collect each of the first 3 edition keys?
Yeah, There's been quite a few. So again, like we realized that we should build our own products. This is where New Ganymede comes in. This is where Medacademy comes in. Can we share Medacademy, Michael, or do you reckon we shouldn't be sharing
Absolutely.
that? Yeah, can I stream that?
Yeah.
Can
I wish you would.
Can you DM me the link so we can share some alpha on the Medacademy?
I'll DM you now.
All right. Well, this is for you guys only. All right. Those that are watching the stream and that are in Discord, and it's pretty good. There's only 29 listening, so don't feel bad about putting this out too early. But I'm gonna show you the Medacademy redesign and the level of thinking that's going behind some of the stuff that we're doing, and how the Medikeys and their additions will play into this.
Those of you listening here in Discord, you'll have to follow along on Maddie's stream on YouTube.
Yep. So if you're on, maybe you can post a link to the YouTube.
Yep, it's in the announcements channel.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen. I'll just answer a little part of that question first before I do share the screen. But we've always thought the first 3 editions of the Mediky, low supply as the project grows and people within the project, there's always a demographic looking for collectorship. No matter how much utility of the project there is, Nike, Adidas, all of these are merch brands, but there's always, as history grows and these projects become decades old, there's collectorship and people go back and get the early editions or the early releases. So that in mind, these rare ones will always have their value. They'll always keep their value because those first 3 are collector editions. There'll be never one minted that has anywhere near the supply of those editions, right? So that in itself, as we release those integrations in the Mediky, and if you have an edition 1 or if you have edition 1, 2, and 3, you take it into the Mediky and you have a special sword that you can display or an aura or something that you can only get aesthetically if you have that. Those 3, if you're a keymaster and there's tens of thousands of players playing this game, it's pretty cool. I would want to own them just based on that. In terms of utility, let me share the course that we're doing, or the course platform. So this is something I'm going to be tweeting a thread about later on. How do I do this? One second. Let me see if I can do this in a way where... Okay. Good. I'll just share it. Bam. All right. So if you're familiar with the Medacademy, we had a previous Medacademy where you could go in. If you have a Mediky, you can open it up and there's a bit of a course portal, right? It was our sort of really early stage stuff that we did. This is the Medacademy redesign. I'll just pull up the Discord so that you guys can see what's going on and I can keep up with the chats again. All right. In this, so what we're going to be doing, again, one of the products that we're building. So we're building New Ganymede. We're going to be building Medacademy as well. Check this out, right? Anyone can upload a course. There's multiple categories this course can sit in: development, blockchain, etc. You can have people that make the courses. So wherever you are, you can create the courses and you'll have a bit of a portfolio on yourself. You'll be earning points based on your teaching. You'll be earning points based on your learning. Those points are redeemable for NFTs. Those points are redeemable for maybe a token one day. And so it's going to be, I mean, learn to earn is a model that we're looking at, but we'll be focusing on the part where this is more about the experience first. But then there's things that we can do that's real crazy. We can say, okay, well, part of the quest in New Ganymede is going and looking at one of these courses and learning how to do a specific code and building something. You get an NFT that allows you to have some access in Medacademy. Maybe that doubles up as a wearable in Decentraland. Maybe that triples up as a sword in New Ganymede. Suddenly, the user base that we are getting in Medacademy is going to grow and be its own thing, but it can be crossed over to New Ganymede and this gaming experience that we're building. So we've got a mob that have built this, and I don't think I can log in yet. But you can connect your MetaMask to this and all sorts of stuff. So the functionality to make courses and upload them, I think we're going to be making that so that anyone can do that. I'm trying to find a page where you can see the points being earned. Here we go. So you got you know, more of a portfolio. So if you view it, you get 5 points. Each video, 10 points. Course completion, 10 points. There'll be quizzes in between. There'll be virtual workshops as well. So we're building a virtual university that's going to sit in DCL or the Sandbox or wherever we go. Some of you guys can be, you know, instructors that are teaching. And this is a way that you guys can get involved. Absolutely. If you want to make course content for this, there'll be ways that if you want to do live workshops to teach people how to code a wearable in Decentraland or how to make a game in the Sandbox, you can build, you can utilize our virtual university. Maybe we can find a way to get certificates out there. So if you're applying for jobs in the metaverse, you can say, well, I completed the Med Academy course, and here's the NFT I got from doing it. All these things open up. And for us, we're going to release this very, very soon, probably in a couple of weeks, or sometime in September. But there's major crossovers, and this is the beautiful thing about experimenting and what these products look like in the metaverse. Is why not build a virtual university? Why not have NFTs that you can use within both of them that double up as wearables and hats, and all sorts of things? Why not have points you can earn where you're rewarded for learning? And at the start, it might be a bit curated, but our goal is to open it up so anyone can upload courses and learn.
It's also free for everyone to watch a course, right? So the utility will come in place where if you hold a Mediky, you might get more extra reward points, different type of courses. Before it goes out to the public, you might be able to watch it earlier. And we can do much more and provide more utility if you hold a certain Medikys. And if you're a key master, it might be a different type of perk, or maybe the reward you get is a different type of NFT than the norm.
Yeah.
This is also built on blockchain, so everything's going to be recorded. It's like proper Web3, courses platform that hasn't been done before.
And that's an interesting point, Moz, you said, is that this is going to be free to everyone. But before we had, all right, well, why don't we just make it for Mediky users? But why don't we make it free for everyone? Why don't we say that if you have a Mediky, then you can get points at a higher rate than everyone else? And that so it incentivizes people to get a Mediky, right? So we think the whole learn to earn model or the courses in Web3 space is massive. Everyone's a potential user. So why don't I just do the same thing that I did with YouTube back in the day, where I made courses for free for everyone. Everyone sort of loved it, and then started to curate that into a more of a niche community. So yep, it will be free for everyone. The incentives to own a Mediky to use this will be maybe the points that you compound as you learn or you teach, etc. will be earned at a higher rate based on which keys you own. Again, all the things we can try, and if you guys have ideas, throw it my way. Can do that as well. So
yeah,
nothing is strict, nothing is firm. Everything is like, all right, well, everything is an experiment. Can we do things better? Absolutely. Let us know what you guys have in mind.
Yeah, we're planning to build this out as like the ultimate, resource that anyone can use in Web3. And you don't need a MetaMask wallet to view the courses, but if you get the MetaMask wallet, then you can accumulate the NFTs and the rewards and different perks. But we want to make it really accessible for anyone. And that's going to be the beauty thing about it. And we're putting a lot of time and effort and resources to this. At one of the key masters, CoinHawk, and his dev team are assisting us on this. So
yeah, shout out to CoinHawk and the Wired team that built all of this infrastructure. They've been they smashed this out within like 2 months, a month and a half. Phenomenal. Yeah. If they're around, I got to shout them out somewhere. But CoinHawk, a key master, right? So a key master building this. Yeah.
So I think someone asked about how you can contribute. If share your expertise, and there's always a time where we can link up. And we are crazily building our stuff. We have our dev team that's always thinking of new ways and what to do. Yeah.
I was gonna add something else to this. I think someone asked how they can contribute. Just DM Mossy, H&M, or any of the mods if you're interested to making courses, and we can get in touch. So yeah, imagine another use for this would be within Decentraland or the Sandbox or anywhere else, there are internal developers that want you to learn how to use their SDK, that want you to learn how to make Sandbox, worlds, and use their sort of building kits to build out experiences. Every single app that has any sort of user-generated content will have a developer team that want you to learn how to do that. Why don't we bring them all to make a 3 to 4 video course on Medacademy, where you go there, you can go there to learn how to make stuff in anywhere from the official people, and also from fans and heavy users of that. So I reckon Medacademy in about a year or two is just going to have like hundreds of courses that and this is why we think then we're preparing for the next wave. When you ask about, well, what products do you think, or what's going to bring in the next wave, we think the experience layer products that people come in and it's already like, if you see what the hell's going on in the NFT space, you go to Medacademy and it's there. You learn why is art going up, why does art have a market, why is there crypto fluctuations, how to do technical analysis on crypto, how to develop in the sandbox, how to bring in a metaverse Web2 brand into Web3, what does strategy look like. There's hundreds of courses that are needed in terms of upgrading your skills in the Web3 space. So we think the next wave that comes in, we're going to be ready product-wise. Anyway, if you're tuning in on YouTube, this is an AMA for Mediky. So I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. Question got away from us a little bit, but it was cool to see some Medacademy teasers there. We're going to start talking about new Ganymede stuff shortly and cover some questions related to that. So Anafi, I'll just speak to this really, really briefly. The first 3 edition keys in relation to New Ganymede. So we have a season pass system for New Ganymede called the New Ganymede Passport, which is going to be offering basically different tiers of rewards based on whether you hold a meta crew or a meta key. And within the meta key tier, it will be dispensing different rewards based on the key that you hold. So there will be some stuff in the New Ganymede ecosystem. And a lot of the scarce items, or really all of the scarce items, are going to be attached to those first 3 edition keys, if that helps as well. So before I start getting too deeper into New Ganymede stuff, Heratoga asks, are we expecting to see the merch hit the mail soon?
Who's the person that asked for that? Is that you, Moz?
Heratoga.
No.
Oh, he's the person to ask? Yeah, that's a Mossy
tracking.
question.
Yeah, so the Uniquely team, when last time we spoke to them, they already shipped out 200 of the products out to the consumers. So they are in mass production at the moment and manufacturing. So every time I reach out to them, because I know you guys have been patiently waiting, and we really appreciate that. It's their main focus. They are not slacking, and they're trying to build the best quality and ship it out to you as soon as possible. I've done another check-in with them. I know they're in UK and they're probably sleeping at the moment, but I will give you an update on the exact time frame and how many has been shipped so far. So keep an eye on that on the Discord.
Where are they based?
I think they're in Europe, aren't they?
Yeah, in Europe.
Maybe in Poland.
Is it Ireland? No. Jeez.
I think it might be Poland. Don't quote me on that. But I believe they're in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, Poland probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Poland is P-Dub.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I'm also very keen to get my hands on my hoodies.
Yeah, we're waiting. As much as you guys are waiting, we're waiting, and Maddie has to do a box opening, so we'll get there shortly, and hopefully it's going to be.
I'm going to be rocking that merch for these streams. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be epic. So.
That's our first official merch for the Mediky, or one of our first, right? Like we've made some internal stuff, but one of our first,
Genesis, man. That's like, I don't know how, you guys are lucky, and especially we had a limited stock, and so when we build out and do more merches, that'll be popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe it'll be worth the wait. Okay, now we're going to start getting into some New Ganymede questions. Feel free to jump in with these, Maddie or Mossy, but I probably know more about what's going on there at the moment. So first question from Sue King, is housing related to Metacamp or is it something completely different? Will we be able to deploy our Metacamp in New Ganymede? No, the housing in New Ganymede is going to be very much its own thing. The plan is that it is being dispensed through that passport system that I mentioned to key holders. So you'll get in, you'll be playing the game, and when you rank up to a certain level, you will be eligible to be able to claim some housing. Metacamp is, at least as far as we have planned, purely a decentralized thing at the moment. Peanut asks a really cool question here. More of a statement, but we're going to extrapolate a question from it. This can be a topic of discussion in AMA, but I believe we shouldn't just pick Polygon or IMX. We might as well be on both chains. But if I were going to pick, the best chain for us would be IMX because of their partnership with GameStop NFT. GameStop is a household name. So a New Ganymede ultimately is going to be chain agnostic. And I won't speak too much about the solutions there because I think Jacob is still putting the final touches on his solution, but it is a very elegant solution, which I'm really excited to explore. But basically, what we're deciding internally is the assets that are dispensed in New Ganymede, the rewards, the items that are going to ultimately be interoperable. What's their like native chain? What are they going to be dispensed on? That's the decision we need to make. We're not putting ourselves in a pigeonhole by saying, oh, we're only going to do stuff on Polygon, we're only going to do stuff on IMX. Ultimately, you're going to be able to bring in NFTs from anywhere, ideally, and play them in New Ganymede. We're doing our best to be chain agnostic there.
Yeah, I mean, like we can always read out from blockchains are just big databases, right? At the end of the day, we can always code in to read out and accept that, hey, look, if you got something from Polygon, Decentraland, it's a wearable. In our world, it looks like this. You got something in the sandbox, you got something in a Solana game. In our game, it's going to look like this. The trading is what I think matters when it comes to which chain you're releasing on. So if you release items on IMX, that much of that trade volume will only happen in IMX because it's not a Polygon minted NFT. So there's some, I think in time, there'll be some bridges where that won't matter as well. Whether you mint it on Polygon or on IMX, maybe there'll be a way that you can trade it on both marketplaces. But yeah, I think like we're totally open to bring in NFTs from anywhere else and look at interoperability opportunities.
Bridge is already being built. It's closer than you might think.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, Jabba asks, are there any other NFT gaming projects further along than New Ganymede at this point? Like, who are the top competitors you see? So that's two different questions. The first one is, yeah, absolutely, there are other NFT gaming projects further along than New Ganymede. Sandbox, obviously. Other side, Illuvium. There are like a good handful of really exciting, really compelling games being made on Polygon, on IMX, on other chains, all around the place.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
they make pretty cool.
Yeah. There's heaps, and a lot of them are much further along than New Ganymede, and a lot of them also have a lot more money to play with than New Ganymede. Other side, for instance, they've got like $300 million that they made from those land sales, a lot of which they have presumably put behind development of other sides with Improbable. As for top competitors, that's not the right way to look at it. The gaming industry is not a zero-sum game. You don't see executives from Square Enix being worried about like what Activision is doing in developing the new Call of Duty game. Like it's not a case of if people are playing the sandbox, they're not going to play New Ganymede. And we need to rush to get it out there because it's a zero-sum game and there's a closing window or whatever. That's just simply categorically and demonstrably not true for the gaming industry. The other thing is that you guys will notice that our sort of philosophy across the whole Mediky is about collaboration. And is about not looking at other projects and what other people are doing as competition, but as potential to build this ecosystem together and to network and to collaborate and to interoperate. You'll be seeing a lot of our messaging at the moment when we're talking about the metaverse. We're rejecting the idea that there's a bunch of different metaverses and that there's a bunch of different sort of silos where, I'm building a metaverse, he's building a metaverse, they're building a metaverse. There's only one metaverse, and it's one that we're all building together. And it's defined by the collaboration, the interconnection, the interoperability between all of these different spaces. And that's the one thing that is new and unique to the NFT space. And the one thing that the NFT space and NFT gaming can do and will do that Web2 gaming doesn't. So yes, there are other NFT gaming projects further along than New Ganymedes. That doesn't make them our competitors. And I'm very, very excited, honestly, to see a lot of other NFT gaming projects succeed, because the more they do, the more onboarding they do into this space, and the more new people we have to come in and play our game.
Yeah, we actually get excited when there's other games and apps and metaverse, quote unquote, experiences that come out that are looking really, really good, because we just knock on their door and like, hey, you want to do something together? Where we can bring some of our NFTs into yours and yours in ours. And we see it as maybe some quests that we can do together. And a lot of the projects that are building out, they do have this intention to bridge out the experience beyond what they're building. So I understand from a crypto and NFT perspective what competition might seem like. Maybe there's a rush to get things out and be the first to do certain things. But in the long run, everyone here that's building are going to be giants in the space. I think like the select few that are taking this seriously, because we're so early. In the next 10 years, we're just going to be so ahead of anyone else that's coming in trying to build some sort of a metaverse experience. There's only a handful of projects I can think out that are bringing in outside avatars within the worlds. Right. Eventually there'll be hundreds. So in the grand scheme of things, I would say we're pretty early.
Also, we're just early in game development, right? Like, we haven't spent years on this, and now we're showcasing this to you. When we came out with our first gameplay trailer, that was in development in like how many months, Michael? Like
10 weeks. 10 weeks. Yeah, exactly. We started when we released the first gameplay teaser trailer of New Ganymede. We had been in development for 10 weeks with one Unreal dev and a handful of artists. This is not the hundreds of millions of dollars of other side. This is a handful of people that we've got in-house that are extremely passionate about the IP and about games dev and about making this really, really cool product.
Exactly. And it all comes down to like, the core team that we have for the game, they absolutely love working on the game, right? And the amount of efforts that you can see, and me and Maddie played this like last week, and we were just mind blown, because we were like, wow, you guys have done all of this behind our backs. Like we have not seen how amazing this is, and when you actually play it, you kind of appreciate it much more.
So
and it's so much fun.
I purposely don't check in to the New Ganymede team, so that when I do check in, I can just naturally react to what's been happening and really genuinely see if I find value in this. And I pop this up every now and then just to play around. And there's not many apps and games that I do that for. So very super excited to see what these guys build in what we build in the next year and a half. But yeah, I think we're gonna do really, really well with our experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, the stuff that they're showing us right now and the stuff that the team is working on, I don't even know if we're allowed to leak anything, Michael, but it's incredible.
Yeah, let's wait for the next devlog, huh?
And all just to let you guys know, when it comes to New Ganymede and what we do, like we brought in quite a lot of brands into the space. We're talking to some of the largest brands in the Web2 space. Like think about whatever, Australian Open, there's like 10 other brands similar to that. There's no reason why they wouldn't work in bringing their experiences to New Ganymede. So a lot of the brand info that we have, a lot of these experiences, quests, etc., partnerships, a lot of that will be coming to New Ganymede.
And we're already having big brands already going.
We have about 2 to 3 select brands that have.
We're going to probably come in our game, right?
Be careful.
All right, I'm not
gonna. Look, when Billy and I wrote the design brief for New Ganymede and pitched it to Maddie, one of the big features was that we were going to be creating a gravity well to attract new super high quality partnerships, like AAA partnerships, and obviously new users, new community members. And we're not even 6 months into development, and that's already been the case. Like, we've already had what I would consider, again, as I said to Mossy, we can't say more at the moment.
I would love to say more.
Yeah, but it is unfolding in that way.
It is, and it's amazing to see how we're not long in development, but how much support and how many like big brands want to actually start building in our game, which I would love to talk about, and that we can in the future.
Okay,
Let us know what your ideal brands are, though. Maybe there's a wish list of brands and experiences that you want in here. I was saying maybe Alien vs Predator is pretty cool. I just watched the Prey movie, so anything that you guys think we should be looking at, maybe we can try and chase those leads and make it happen.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. So we've answered part of this question already, I think. But PW asks, from a consumer point of view, the other side is our biggest competition. Again, we've kind of addressed that. Animoca is invested in both Mediky and the other side. Does Animoca have a say-so in working together, or is it out of Animoca's hands for decision? So I think this is regarding collaboration between Yuga and Mediky. Is that something that Animoca can bridge, facilitate? Is it something that's out of their hands? Is it something that that we've explored or thought about?
Yeah, we haven't reached out to the Bored Ape team community or any connections that I have. I wanted to focus on us building what we have, get some momentum going, get some of our avatars in, talking to the Meebits community, talking to some avatars, sort of build out the experience so that we have something that we're proud of and that is quite impressive ourselves. Not that we have to prove anything to Bored Ape, but just wanting to get a product at a level, and then happily can reach out to Yat and see if he can start those conversations. He obviously has access to Bored Ape. He obviously has I'm sure he doesn't get the final say, but he definitely has some sort of authority when it comes to suggesting and directing at some level. So can talk to them to see if that's a thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if Yuga want to do their own thing and just build out their own experience their way, and worry about collaborations a little bit later.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Okay. A couple more questions from Jabba here. Jabba's asked like a million questions, and I've just picked like a few of the nuggets here, a few of the really golden ones.
We should do this more often, guys. So as I'm getting back into the swing of things, maybe once a fortnight, I jump back on, and we do an AMA. Yeah. There should be plenty of questions to facilitate that. So Jabba, in regards to Ganymede, is there going to be a cap on a few select communities that can play in the game in the beginning? I guess that could make Metacrew more valuable, since it might be the cheaper avatar entry point to play. So first of all, yes, we are planning on having basically like pre-alpha like playtesting opportunities for Medicaid Metacrew holders. And then we'll sort of expand that outwards kind of incrementally to other like partner projects and stuff like that before we have the full kind of like public demo release. Jabba sort of follows this up, and I think we can kind of discuss this a little bit more holistically. What value does Metacrew have if all other characters can be integrated in the game, like Clone X, Cybercock, etc.? Is it just for special access places in New Ganymede and skins/guns, etc.? So as I mentioned, the reward system in New Ganymede follows the model of a season pass. It'll be 3 or 4 months basically. It'll cycle with new content, new rewards, and there's a free tier, there's a Mediky tier, and then there's a Metacrew tier.
The Meta Crew tier is a lot of cosmetic items, a lot of weapon skins, a lot of like new accessories and stuff to equip on your character. And that tier will not be accessible to these other partnered avatars that are integrated. The point of bringing in these other avatars is not to dilute the value of the Meta Crew. It's to bring more players into New Ganymede, more eyeballs on New Ganymede, because if you want to be earning stuff in New Ganymede and have it worth something, then there needs to be people playing the game, and there needs to be people playing the game that are not necessarily earning the same things that you're earning. So the value of the crewmate really is for that. Is for getting these rare skins. It's a model that's been tried and proven 100 times over by AAA game studios in Web 2 over the past 15 years that season passes and these kinds of systems have been in play. What we're doing is adding the layer of 2A interoperability, where you can bring stuff in and have it work in New Ganymede, and the stuff that New Ganymede dispenses you can take out to other spaces. That's the next step that we're taking, and you get more of that holding a crewmate, you get more of that holding a Mediky.
Mm-hmm. But like our intention is to find a way to bring value to Mediky and our avatars and Metacrew in whichever ways that we can see fit. But the priority for us, when you do ask the questions, how is this space going to bring in another bull run? Or how is this space going to grow to millions of people? Well, the only way it can grow is if we build products that anyone can enjoy and everyone can enjoy. So we got to zoom out. We got to build big. We got to build for everyone. We got to integrate everything, and then find ways from that point onwards, when there are thousands and tens of thousands of players, very easy to make an announcement and say, you know what, if you own a Metacrew, you can get this wearable, and this is a partnership with Coca-Cola or something, or whatever, right? Very easy to do that. But I think for us, it's better to think a little bit less about economy and more about just building.
And to that point, New Ganymede will be free to play for anyone and everyone. And the New Ganymede passport, the free version of the passport, will also be free to claim for anyone. So you can get in, you can start playing, you can start earning NFTs that you can take to other spaces, that you can, build this sort of, customized character inside New Ganymede that can, bleed into these other spaces. And we're basically like stacking conversion opportunities for people in that ecosystem to be like, oh, you know what? I'm really enjoying this game. I see the crewmates walking around with, all their swag, all these awesome items and accessories. And I should upgrade. Like, it's about time for that. I've been playing this game for 50 hours. Why would I not buy a crewmate? I'm invested. That's kind of the way that we're looking at it. I want to reiterate there as well that it is absolutely categorically not pay to win. It's cosmetic stuff. So the stuff that you're getting as a crewmate, it's not going to make you, if you want to be better at the game, you need to be better at the game. Basically, you need to get better at the game. We're not going to give you stuff that's going to give you an unfair advantage over the free plays.
Or not?
Should you play the game right now? I'd rather.
I just want to run around with my Clone X.
Just show the video.
No,
because there is stuff in there that I want to be careful about.
Okay.
For the time being.
Okay.
We'll do another playtest with you soon, man. I promise.
Well, this is like, right now we have 4 to 5 people in here. How many people can we have here eventually, Michael?
In New Ganymede, in the city itself, we should be able to get about 100 people in an instance.
Per instance, so there'll be parallel instances like RuneScape and stuff.
Yes, if needs be, and that's kind of being conservative. We'll do what we can to sort of push that, but like native Unreal stuff, that's what we're looking at. When we're instancing out to the dungeons, that's going to be like smaller parties, basically fire teams, just for the sake of balancing content. You'll be in there with like 4 or 5 people doing the dungeons, but when you're in that open world environment in the city and around the city,
Hmm.
yeah, 100. I think 100 is reasonable.
Hmm.
Timmy, if I say more than 100, then Timmy will be like, don't say that yet. We're doing our best, but don't say that yet.
Yeah. And it's Improbable works at scaling these user bases. So as they get ready to open up the plugins that allow us to do the same, we can absolutely look at that. But
Well,
that's
okay, so
I think at the end of the day, like for me, what's more important is the games that I
The
can
gameplay.
play with
yeah,
the 5-on-5 or the 10 people quests. That's
Mhm.
way more. That's more than enough for me personally to
Mhm.
enjoy my
Mhm.
time playing these games.
Yeah.
And then potentially I go into a central hub and there's 100 people. And I think with Decentraland, one issue that they had was they had such a massive land, but there was only 100 people allowed per land, so everyone was in a corner somewhere, and so you'd go to a build, but there'd be max 10 people
Yeah.
around you, maybe.
Very low density.
Very low
Yeah.
density. So I think like we're
New
thinking about
Ganymede's the
all those
opposite.
things as well.
Yeah, New Ganymede is going to be very, very high density. Look, the tech that Improbable is using is really, really wonderful for like social experiences. If you all want to get together and like watch a concert or something like that. But you're very limited like gameplay wise with the kind of stuff that you can do. So you see like the combat in the other side test demo, right? Was getting onto jump pads and basically like launching your body into a big stationary boss. And that's cool like for an event. But for a game with a loop that you want to engage people for 40, 50, hundreds of hours, they're going to come back and keep playing. You need mechanics that are a little bit more robust. And to do that, there are, kind of compromises to be made there. So we're looking at the gameplay first, making sure that we're really happy with that's like really up to the standard that's going to keep people playing. That has been, established in the gaming industry, and then we, basically crank up the architecture and kind of scale that up and level that up as much as we can over time, incrementally.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers the question. We did get away from that a little bit again, but I hope that answers. Okay, Jump and Spider asks, aside from New Ganymede, what are some ways I can use my meta crew? You've seen them for Sandbox. You've seen them for Decentraland. So we've got like Decentraland wearables for all the outfits. And we've got the full collection in Sandbox as well. So the reason we haven't just airdropped those yet as like separate NFTs are because we're not about that. Because that's like a one and done. If you have a crewmate and we give you the Sandbox version of that crewmate, then you have that. You've basically like taken utility out of that crewmate, and whoever holds that next, they won't be able to use that Sandbox avatar. We're much more concerned about bridging the original ERC 721 natively into these spaces, so that rather than having to have another NFT, Sandbox will just read your MetaMask wallet, know that you have that original ERC 721. You can play as that character. Same with Decentraland with the wearables, and that when that meta crew changes hands, all of that utility changes hands as well. And we've got all the assets done, all ready to go. They're working on basically the bridging solutions at the moment, and they're like pretty much done with that. And that'll be rolling out like fairly soon. But that is really just like the proof of concept for what we want to do with the meta crew across all these different spaces. The easy way is to give you another NFT and decimate that value. The hard way is to have the original NFT supported and bridged across all these different applications. That's the hard way. That's the slow way, but that's the way that brings the most value, and that's what we're committed to doing wherever possible. Is that fair, Maddie?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
I want to just add that Chris says the game looks great. Old Man Yeet says next devlog I want to see dual wielding and the chrome over.
We can certainly show the comb over.
We got the comb over.
Yeah, we do. We do have the comb over, and it's magnificent. Absolutely magnifique.
Dual wielding would be cool Can't wait till
Yeah.
there's other combinations and stuff.
Yeah, so for the demo, what we're doing first is we're putting in the range weapons, so the pistols and the rifles, and one-handers. So the dual wields for the demo, you'll just be using one of them. If you've got a two-handed weapon, like one of the big swords for the demo, you'll be using a one-hander. And we will basically be patching post-demo, because you've got to remember the demo represents like very early sort of pre-alpha, like the first kind of public playable state. We will be patching over time each of those different weapon classes. But you got to understand they have different abilities, different mechanics. They're all going to feel like very unique. Basically, they're different classes, right? So we'll be adding those over time. Okay, so Jabba asks, does Mediky have any experienced game developers on the team, or is New Ganymede the first game that any of the team members have developed? Yes, absolutely. We have experienced game developers. We don't have like a huge team working on New Ganymede, but everyone that we do have are video game industry veterans that have worked on a bunch of stuff. I think Billy was saying that like just in sort of the core New Ganymede team, we've got like over 30 or 40 years of experience there. And again, that's concentrated in like a pretty tight sort of core team. I can't give you like too much specifics because if you worked in the gaming industry before, you'll understand that everything is very, very like NDA to sort of protect IPs and stuff like that. But yes, we do have experience. It's not our first rodeo.
Yeah, we have people who wants to like redo the 3D models and make it better and better. Like they just that kind of like perfectionists, you know what I mean? So they're very passionate and they just want it to deliver the best product they can. So that's why you see such high quality already in a short period of time.
Yeah, well, it's about to start looking a lot better. We're doing a big sort of texture overhaul and stuff at the moment, which you guys will be able to see in the next devlog. Okay, so the last question I have here on the list is from Domandomo on Twitter, who asks, will all meta keys be equal weight for New Ganymede? Just figuring which to buy. And like I say, in terms of waiting for New Ganymede, the passport system is going to dispense certain items depending on the edition that you have. So the scarcer editions will mean that you will get, scarcer items, right? That will follow pretty much one-to-one. So I would encourage you to think about when you're looking at which key you want to buy, which aesthetic you like, because we will be doing items and those will be like cosmetic stuff like wearables, but also weapons. We'll be doing ones that are inspired by the kind of style and aesthetic of each of the key editions as well. So scarcity is going to have a part in it and being able to sort of flex like the super rare stuff for having early editions, but also, maybe you really like the artifact aesthetic. Maybe you really like the Marco aesthetic. Like I'm really excited to see what we can do with that. That's going to be really, really compelling. Yeah, so I hope that answers that. That's all the questions I have on the list here. We've been going for over an hour now. So Maddie, I don't know if you have any questions in YouTube that jumped out at you that you would like to take a moment to address. No?
No, I don't. But there hasn't been any questions on YouTube, but I would love to know like what you guys think we should do more of. I know I've been away from Twitter and YouTube and all this sort of stuff, but it's always good to hear. I know what these questions. I mean, this was the whole point of the AMA thing, but feedback. Like if you guys think I should do things better, just DM me or differently. You guys are the community, so it is always good. We take feedback quite seriously, so we're not like the type where we take that feedback and we put it in this thing like, oh no, we know better. I always ask everyone that's looking at these trailers, and even my friends or anyone that I'm showing these trailers to, I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. I know you guys are saying this is nice to make me feel good, but like, what do you not like about it? What are you critical about this? Would you play this? So we're always open to evolve. So
yeah. To let you all behind the scenes a little bit on that. So in our office Discord, in our virtual office where we all work, we have a feedback channel where everyone from the team, whenever they come across any feedback from anywhere, we post it in there, and we have like regular, like really in-depth discussions and dissections of all of that. It's all extremely important, extremely valuable. And we really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate these questions and the opportunity to sort of discuss them all with you. And we really appreciate you guys showing up and listening and engaging. And hopefully it'll spawn more questions and more feedback that we can pick up for the next one.
Awesome. Let's do this more frequently.
Okay, fantastic. Maddie, we'll let you go so you can do your outros and stuff for YouTube. Wrap things up over there.
All right, heading out.
We'll have the recording for this up on your YouTube pretty soon.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. I will drop in the chat every now and then.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your time.
All right, we're going back to YouTube, guys. Let me pull this up. My God, I'm everywhere right now. Open up OBS. I need to up my right. Open up YouTube comments. We're good. All right. Yeah. If you just tuned in now, basically we did an hour-long AMA for the Mediky community. I think I'm definitely going to start getting super active on Twitter and YouTube, wherever I need to be. I think social media combined with product development is the perfect combination. So like I've noticed people that are building projects, like they do need to get back onto social. So the first year of New Ganymede was me building New Ganymede. I think the next year will be us merging heavy social with New Ganymede with with Mediky and the products within. So anyone that's tuning in that is still here for the YouTube, I will be doing this quite regularly. We'll be going through just general NFT stuff, and every now and then we'll do a Mediky thing. So maybe once in a week, I'll pull that and do a 10-minute, 15-minute segment on what we're up to. But it's been good, guys. It's been long, an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours. Actually, how long have I been streaming for? An hour and 47 minutes. Also, my streams, when I do this, I'm going to do them blitz. They're going to go probably 35 minutes, right? I'll do some interviews, and maybe I'll just get someone blitz question, give them like a 15-minute shot. So I'll start to get, I want to make this quick. So 30 to 40 minutes max. And that's it. So it's sort of sustainable for me and anyone else that's listening in. So I'll let you guys know whether this will start daily from next week or not. But thanks for tuning in. 298 people came and checked us out. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. I will catch you guys maybe later on this week, now that I've got this stream figured out and everything's working good. So I'm happy. I'm happy that the camera didn't break. Got the 2 monitors things going on. The lighting looks all right. So it's doing good. All right. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.